So this is a military M101 trailer we modified. It's got a rooftop tent on it, and it also has a movable rooftop tent. These pins you pull out, there's 4 of them all the way around, and what it does is it lifts up with these gas shocks that we have in here. See, gas shock mounted there to here, and it slides in there. So that'll actually extend up 13 inches from where it's at now. So 13 more inches from here up, 13 more inches. And the reason why we wanted to go up was when you flip the tent out, it actually flips out this way to this area, and the tailgate drops down, and there's a vestibule that goes around, which is designed to go on the back of a car because this is a rooftop tent for a vehicle. But since you want to keep it in your trailer to keep, clearance down, and also be a little bit more useful when you're gonna go somewhere at nighttime, you want to have a trailer with your tent on it, which some people like. And this will be stationary, so the tent comes out, pops open, there's a ladder that comes down here, and the vestibule actually covers this area. But if it was at this height, you really wouldn't have much of a vestibule because this is about my height to my head. And if you wanted to go a little higher, obviously you want to have your tent up like about to the top of this thing, a little higher, which it does perfectly. So that's pretty much where we got that idea of going up with it. Now, I tested out the system, it works great. I will not open it yet, but if my friend who owns the trailer decides he wants to pop it up, it actually is very simple. When you pop these pins out, it kind of goes up on its own because I got 4 gas shocks on it, and they're welded to there, which this part's removable, but that's not, that's welded. And up there's another one. I don't really know what they're called, those little balls. They're welded to the trailer itself, and the gas shock pushes up on those. And then, so it goes up fine with no problem. Coming down is a little bit more of a effort. You actually have to use a ratchet strap or a tie down. You would pull down physically by your own weight and then hold it with the ratchet strap and then go to the other side. It takes about 3 attempts on total, like 2 here and 1 there, or one or the other, to get these pins back into the original holes. So there is a hole when it goes up and it locks in, and all of them have the matching hole. And there's 2 positions, collapsed and fully extended. And then another neat idea that we came up with was a slide out solar panel under the tent. There's the track. There's the track with a lock. And it will come out actually both sides. It actually slid out that way, which I'll show you. We'll come around here. So let's see the solar panel. Ooh, fancy stuff. So I actually put some wheels on this so it slides on the track. There's one on every corner, so there's 4 wheels, and that's the lock down. Let me see if I can focus the camera on this. So there is the flip down lock thing, so that actually is down right now, and then that is a stopper for that hole which we made. So when this goes in, we kind of have to clear the wheel here, but it locked in, and then that keeps it closed. So now we don't have a sliding out panel. And then to allow for the clearance of going up and down, we had to extend the wires, which actually wasn't an issue, and it tucks away out of the way over here. It's not really the cleanest job, but also for the lighting that we have. Yes, we did lighting. We have crazy spotlights that pivot on a bolt, and there's 2 of them It was just an afterthought. Came out really great, and they work really great. The best upgrade lighting was this LED strip we did all the way across, and another one under here, and another two on the same exact thing up here and under here. So when you flip these switches on, which we have, there's the battery, there's the control box, it's all sealed off, waterproof, and what do you know, we have voltage. You really can't see it, but it says 12.4, and that's actually a resting voltage for this battery. But there's our switches, and two of them aren't really wired to anything, but two are. One is to the LEDs, and then the reason why this one doesn't turn on is because it's actually wired to a different switch, which is on here. But you can have them all on, and there's two there. Only this one is hooked up to a separate switch because we want easy access to certain things and don't overlight everything, because this one is lit up with those other two. See, I didn't touch the switch yet. To these two. So now you have lighting inside of here for your cargo at nighttime. And you also have lighting when it comes out here, just from those LEDs are so bright. And they're still lighting at nighttime here, which is crazy, but if you don't believe me, you actually have to see this thing in person at nighttime. So let's turn that off, and then the second switch is hooked up to these. You can hear the buzzing of the ballasts, but these are actually the ballasts for HIDs, and we have covers on them, so they're blacked out until you uncover it. But we have an HID inside of this and there, and you can actually turn on or off either one without distracting anybody if you don't need to. So that was this whole trailer in one set. Let me turn that switch off. Everything's warmed up, and we're still doing good on voltage. Didn't take much current out of this thing. Sealed, waterproof battery box. Everything is waterproof. This has been tested in the rain already, and we have had some serious rain over here. But a bunch of tie downs and a basket I made. So this military trailer looks nothing like a military trailer anymore, but it is very useful because it's an off-road pintle hook. Still got the original 37 8-ply walled tires. The only thing we modified was these extensions, so when you're in the trailer without a car attached, you need a balance point, so you actually drop these down. It's kind of hard to do it one-handed, but anyways, so there's 4 holes in the hitch. You just release the pin, swing it down, lock it in, and I had to shorten up the handles, if you can see my fancy welds here, so you can get in this tight little corner and crank down or up. And then I actually had to extend the legs with just a piece of pipe, 2-inch pipe, welded it to the end here, cut that off. The original one was right about here. I cut the leg off, extended a piece of pipe, welded that in place, which I should have done the other way because this is close to the wheel. It doesn't really hit or anything, but it is close. And I have pulled this trailer with that on there yesterday. And we rhino coated everything. Rhino coated the inside. This was a rust bucket, trust me, there's the rust, and here's the bucket. But look at the difference once you take some effort into it. It's just amazing. A lot of upgrades. And then also, I love LEDs if you haven't noticed, but there's a strip here that's hidden, and you think, why is it painted? But actually this is so bright that I had to put electrical tape, and then with the lights on, I scratched off where there was an LED diode, scratch those off, and you can still see light through those very clearly. These are overpowered, even though you can barely see them. It's like a camouflage. It's pretty neat. And you would think, well, what about the back? Where's the lights? Down there is the parking light, driving light, turn signal, brake, license plate light, and everything. We also needed lights, marker lights for the sides. If you haven't seen this, but this is very neat right here. Another LED strip. Now this is red, that one is amber. Red is for the rear. These were so bright when we turned it on, it actually overpowered those down there, even when your brakes are on. So I had to do the same thing. I had to cover the entire center section with electrical tape, and then I left the last three here and the last three there open, which was still bright, so I ended up painting it black, and it just, I didn't even really have to do much after that. It just kind of does its thing at nighttime. It's just a whole different trailer. It's crazy, but it really works. We're gonna add more lighting eventually, but this is gonna get its first use in Death Valley.